The notion that God would enter into human history, suffer, and die for the sake of love is a powerful and transformative concept that has inspired countless believers through the ages. Throughout history, the figure of Jesus has been interpreted in various ways by different cultures and theological traditions. In addition to the canonical Gospels, apocryphal writings and historical analyses have sought to uncover the historical Jesus apart from theological constructs. While scholarly debate continues over the precise details of Jesus' life and times, most historians agree that he was a real person who lived in 1st century Judea and had a significant following. Yet, for millions of Christians, the importance of Jesus lies not only in historical facts, but in the living relationship they believe they can have with him through faith. Prayer, worship, and the sacraments are seen as ways to encounter the risen Christ and experience his presence in daily life. The Eucharist, in particular, is considered by many Christian traditions to be a real participation in the body and blood of Christ, a mysterious union that nourishes the soul and deepens communion with God. In this sense, Jesus is not merely a figure of the past, but a present and active force in the lives of believers. The moral and ethical teachings of Jesus continue to have a profound impact beyond the confines of the church. Concepts such as the Golden Rule, do unto others as you would have them do unto you, have become foundational to ethical thinking in both religious and secular contexts. His radical call to love one's enemies and forgive those who wrong us remains challenging and countercultural, yet deeply compelling. Jesus' concern for the poor, marginalized, and outcast challenges societal norms and calls for a compassionate, justice-oriented response to human suffering. Liberation theology, Christian social teaching, and various humanitarian movements have drawn inspiration from Jesus' life and message to advocate for peace, justice, and the dignity of all people. His influence extends into literature, art, music, and philosophy, shaping the cultural and moral imagination of countless generations. Understanding Jesus also means grappling with the problem of evil and suffering in the world. The cross, a symbol of torture and death, is paradoxically also a symbol of hope and redemption. For Christians, the suffering of Jesus shows that God is not distant or indifferent to human pain, but has entered into it fully. This provides a unique perspective on suffering, not as meaningless or punitive, but as something that can be transformed through faith and love. The resurrection of Jesus is seen as the ultimate answer to the question of suffering, offering the promise of new life and eternal communion with God. Christians believe that Jesus will return at the end of time to judge the living and the dead and to establish a new heaven and a new earth where suffering, sin, and death will be no more. This eschatological hope sustains believers in the face of trials and encourages them to live in accordance with God's will. The relationship between Jesus and God is also crucial for interfaith dialogue. In Islam, Jesus Isa is respected as a great prophet and messenger of God, born of the Virgin Mary, and destined to return at the end of times. However, Islam rejects the divinity of Jesus and the doctrine of the Trinity, viewing such beliefs as incompatible with the strict monotheism of Tawhid. In Judaism, Jesus is generally not accepted as the Messiah or Son of God, though he may be acknowledged as a teacher or rabbi. These differing views create both challenges and opportunities for dialogue, as religious communities seek to understand each other while remaining faithful to their own traditions. Despite theological differences, many admire Jesus' ethical teachings and his emphasis on love, justice, and humility. In the end, Jesus' life and identity cannot be reduced to simple categories. He is simultaneously a historical figure and a living presence, a teacher and savior, a servant and Lord, a man of sorrows, and the glorified Christ. His story invites people into a journey of faith, a path of transformation that leads to deeper union with God. Whether approached through prayer, study, service, or contemplation, Jesus remains a compelling figure who continues to speak to the deepest needs and hopes of the human heart. His message of unconditional love, radical forgiveness, and divine grace offers a vision of life that transcends fear, hatred, and despair. For those who believe he is not only the Son of God, but God himself, come to dwell among us, to redeem us, and to bring us into the fullness of life that is found in communion with the eternal and loving God.